beautiful people, mates. It's your girl Genie and it's Genie's signature. So today I'll be making this beautiful gown. It's an off-shoulder gown with a bow in the front like this. So if this is what you're interested in, please kind of watch till the end. And as you're watching, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. Now, the one on the thumbnail does not have sleeves, but my client decided to add sleeves to her own because she didn't want it to be a tube top. But if you want yours to be a tube top, you can ignore the sleeves. But these sleeves really came out beautiful, and so that you can rock it anyway. So let's get right into it. So yes, I have my fabric folded into two. Now I made use of the crepe fabric, and it's the stretchy kind of fabric. So I'll be deducting 5 inches from my shoulders before I'll get my armhole. I got my waistline, and then I got my hip line. So those are the lines that I marked or ruled out respectively. And then of course I got the length of the gown with sewing allowances. Now the next thing I'll be doing now is just to get my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Now putting into consideration this is going to be an off shoulder, it's not going to be having a sleeve. So for example, if your shoulder is 14 inches, you divide by 2, you can remove 1.5 inches or 2 inches from that before marking whatever. So that was what I did there, and just probably add half an inch because of the sleeve you're going to be adding as an off shoulder. And then at the next line, which is the armhole area, I'm going to be marking my bust measurement there, and then I'll be adding 1 inch as sewing allowance. So that was what I did there, and then I'll carve that out as my armhole. So just do it like that. You can do it slanted, and then you can just carve it out like this, just give it a slight curve. And then on my waist area, that's the waistline, I'll be marking my waist measurements. I'll add 1 inch for that, and then 1 inch sewing allowance as well. So those are the marks that I have there. Then on the hip line, I'm going to be repeating the same thing. You divide your hip measurement by 4, and then you add 1 inch sewing allowance respectively. So those are the lines I'm going to be connecting from my bust to my waist, and then from the waist to the hip. And now if you want this cloth to have a very beautiful shape, you can just go ahead and put in your shoulder, your chest, to your knee line, and then you carve it out to give it that beautiful look. But for my client, I'm just going to be doing it like taking my hip measurement all the way down to the length of the gown. But if you want it to look shapely, like you want it to have that shape, you can just go in, put your shoulder to knee measurement or your waist to knee measurement, and then carve it out, and it's going to be looking shapely and beautiful. So this is what I have. So now I'll just be going ahead to cut this out. Okay, let me just quickly show you how I'm going to be imputing the dart, because I'll be using a middle dart for this. So just get your bust span measurement divided by 4, divided by 2, I beg your pardon, and then you rule that out from your chest line to the hip line. Then from the hip line you go up by 3 inches, and then from the chest line you come down by 1 inch, and then you take your 1 inch on the waist area, and then you connect. So I think I've done something like this before, so probably this is your first time of watching my tutorial. That is why I'm kind of repeating this. So whatever I did here, we're doing on the other side of the gown as well. So that is where we'll be taking in our darts. So now just ensure that you rule out your line in a straight line, so that you would repeat the same thing on this side. You know, this is not going to be having any lining, so you can just open it up and then do the same thing. So now let me just cut it out first so that it will be easy to do all that. So for the neckline, I'm going to be leaving it straight like that, but if you want yours curvy, you can just come down by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, and then you just curve it out for it to have like a round neckline, but I'll be leaving it square like that. So I'm just going to be opening this up so that I can extend the lines. So that I'll just like replicate the dart line that I have on this side right here as well. So knowing that my dart is like that, so I'll just mark whatever I have there, take it from the middle, and then mark it like so. So you can take it like that, and then just ensure you know the middle of your dart so that you won't go and do something that is not right. So just go by 3 inches, come down by 1 inch, and then take your half inch for your dart. So let me just use mine because this fabric is kind of shaky, so my ruler is not really sitting well on it. So that's how we're going to be taking in our dart. So let's go ahead and cut out the back piece because we're basically through with the front piece. So now this is the back piece. I'd already gone ahead to add my zipper allowance, which was 1 inch, and then I'll be cutting out exactly what I have right there. So it's just like add your 1 inch and then you're good to go. So that is me cutting out for the back piece. So I'm cutting out the length. Yeah, so this is what we have. So I'll notch my zipper and then I'll come to this hip line, but that is where probably where I want I'm slanting the zipper to avoid bulginess, so I'll just cut that out, just cut out like half an inch and slant it like that all the way to the up. So this removes bulginess. So I'll opening this up like so. And so this is what I have. I indicated that so that I'll know the reverse side of the fabric. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is just to get my darts for the back as well. So whatever you did in the front is what you're doing in the back. So the only difference for the back is that you're going to be starting that from the zipper area. So I got my chest measurement, my waist measurement, and then my hip measurement as well. So I'll be marking exactly what I did there. Your bust span divided by 2, come down by 1 inch, and then you take half inch on your waist area. From the hip line you go up by 3 inches and then you connect like so. So that's the dart. So I'll repeat the same thing on this reverse side, that is the other side of the back. I just wanted this tutorial to be kind of detailed. I don't want, oh, why didn't you show us this? Yeah, why didn't you show us that? So that is why I'm basically doing all this. So now for this back, remember that there is a zipper allowance so that you won't be confused. So now I'll just take in my darts. So if you have enjoyed watching this tutorial up to this place, please kindly leave comments, kindly like, kindly share, and kindly give a huge thumbs up. So that's me connecting the dots, as you can see. So we're basically through with the front and then the back pieces. So the next thing we're going to do is just to, I'm going to be using a facing for the neckline area. We all know how to cut out the facing, right? Because I didn't show how to do that. So I've gone ahead to turn the neckline with a facing. As you can see, I've taken in the darts, as you can see. So these are the darts. I've gone ahead to take it in. I've done that for the back as well. I've done that for the back as well. As you can see, I used facing to turn it around because I wanted that place to be neat. And then for the slit area, I've gone ahead to fold it, and I've equally added my zipper at the back. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to align my shoulders together, align the bodies, the front and the backs, and then take out my measurements, and then I'll be right back. So I've already gone that I had to do that. So the next thing I'm doing now is to show you how I did that bow. So for the bow, depending on how wide or how big you want it to be, I did mine 21 by 18 inches. That was what I cut. And then because this fabric I made use of a crepe, so I decided to iron a gum stay on it to give it stability, because the bow has to stand. If not, it will just like slip off. So I had to iron gum stay on that. And then I went ahead to cut out the length of this straps and then folded into 2 like so, and then slanted the edge of it the way you would want to, just like as if you're making a belt, you understand. So I have the length that I have, and then I folded into 2 like that, ran a stitch from there, and then that was how I got that one. So it's pretty much easy. So let me quickly go ahead and do all that, and then I'll be right back. So my bow I've gone ahead to sew this, so you can see how lovely it's looking. And then for this that I'll be making use of, so I'm going to be, I've gone ahead to sew this all the way around, and then I'll be showing you how I'm going to be making the bow. So for this, I have just cut out a long strip about 10 inches. And so for the bow, this is how I'll be compressing it. And now when you're doing this, please kindly make sure they are evenly aligned. You can see the way I'm arranging it very well, so that it will come out standing looking neat and beautiful. So this is how it's going to be. So you can see we already have our bow. So now I'll just be taking this and then wrap it around it. But after wrapping this, I decided to unwrap because that place was looking too thick for me. So I later on just tied it only once so that it will look neat. So I'll just tie this up like that. Just tie it like that. So this was how it came out looking. And then when you have done that, just use your hand to arrange it properly, arrange it very well. This is how it came out to be, looking very beautiful. So just cut out the remaining fabrics from there, or just push it in like so. And so it's going to be looking neat. Just arrange the pleats very well so that it will be looking good. So this is how it came out to be. So you can see that our bow is looking beautiful and neat. So let me quickly bring my fabric so that I will show you how I'm going to be arranging that. So I've gone ahead to attach my sleeves. Now if you don't know how to cut an off shoulder sleeve, I already have that on the tutorial, so you can go ahead and check it out. That is why I didn't show you how to cut that, because I already have a detailed tutorial on how to do that. So now this is how I'll be placing my bows. I'll place one like so. So depending on the direction you want that pointed part to face, you're good. It's just all well and good. So I'll be placing it like this. You can see this is where I'll be placing it on the chest area. Take it to the sewing machine and sew it down. So I'll use the pin to hold it down first before taking it to the sewing machine. So I'll just pin them down. If you like, you can place them on each other to overlap a little before sewing it, or you can leave it separately. It's okay. So I'll go and sew it down like so, and then I'll bring my bow like this. I'll place the middle part on it like this. So for this, I'll be making use of my hand needle. So that was what I used, because you can't sew it because it's thick. There's no way you can sew it, so you just make sure you use your hand needle. So that's why I brought out my hand needle pack, and that is what I'll be using to attach it. Yes, so that's what I'll be using to attach it to the fabric. So when we are through, and that was how you got it. So see you all on my next tutorial. Thank you all.